Okay, so to start off, weekly maintenance at the Nielson property. We installed those 3 boxwoods that were left over from last time. Really tried to get them nice and level with the rest of them. They're not as full yet, but they will grow in nicely. They look wonderful. We watered them thoroughly. We watered the pansies thoroughly once again. Watered all of the planters as well. Really tidied up any little dirt bit, so that got nice and watered. Installed the pussy willow. These are these fuzzy bits in a sporadic kind of natural organic way for these front planters. Just give a little circle. They really held on from the storm. Everything's looking quite nice. And we watered these as well. Also beefed them up with more of the yellow primrose in this quite a gap area that we had, so just put that right in there. And then these sort of more natural patterned sprouts coming out of the edge. Just springy and fun, adds a little bit more life to it. Just a little bit more. And this one over here, so you can tell. Alrighty, and then go around the side. We rewrapped the burlap once again. I actually think it might just be that this is too smooth. We need a little thicker, rougher burlap if it wants to withstand more than a couple weeks here. That's like the 3rd time we've had to rewrap them. Quite a few of them. And coming back here, not much in this area other than really clean and tidying up all of the soil that was displaced from the work that they had done installing the door, and the dogs had run through it a little bit. But otherwise there wasn't any erosion or like serious runoff areas, so I'm really proud of how we put the soil down today. And just to show you the planters over here too, flowers are looking so healthy, and we really got this central area of quince and then the pussy willow kind of exploding outward. Same thing over here, it's heavier on one side and then outward with the willow. And we moved all of the chairs and swept underneath them. There had been soil runoff from the wind and lots of leaves and everything. Really amped these guys up with better angling, feeling full and explosive. Watered all of them thoroughly. Yeah, much more pleased with how these are now. Yep, there's another view of that. I also want to note we are missing one boxwood in front of that tree. I think we should plant another one or 2. I'll put in the notes how many we should put there. And then to start off the day, oh, looks like this is locked. Here we go. Just going to make sure that's nice and locked. So down here in the first part of the day, we replanted the apple trees that were in the planters. We now have the smaller one right in the middle of this area. It seemed like there was quite a hole where something should go. So this apple tree is filling that. We'll see how that takes. This was the apple tree that was quite sick that we had to take back pretty far with the pruning. So we'll keep an eye on that. But there it is in regards to height with everything else around it. And then over here is where we decided to place the other apple tree in this nice gap beside the chicken coop. There really wasn't enough space in the planters, so this is much more roomy for it to grow. Watered it thoroughly. Nice, duo with the cherry over there too. Oh, looks like there's already blooms on that guy. So, yep, repotted those, or replanted. This area is looking so cleaned up and nice the way this is all tidied from last time and the soil dispersed. However, we could eventually put, 1, 2, 3 large planter displays in this area for them. And then these are their cute little succulent things we could tidy up as well. And then whenever we get to it, there's still leaves all around here and back in here. Not sure what's going on with this metal thing, but we'll get to this at some point. And I think that's not about it. We actually did some work up front in the park strip area as well, fluffing up the creeping jenny. It's, was looking really matted down and dead. So just like getting in there with our hands and fluffing it, taking out the dead bits, it's really starting to help. So I don't think we did this lower half yet, but eventually, we'll get in there. And we did start to trim back some of the boxwoods to get them back to a healthy state because they're sun scorched and burned from the hedger that was used. So these guys are still a little too wonky for me to want to touch right now. I want to let them grow in a little bit more. Same with the topiary areas. But right up here, I'm starting to get back to the green and away from that purple brown. 1, 2, 3, 4. So these 4 have started to transform back to life. This one particularly smaller than the last, but that's just the shape of it. And then we'll have to get to these at another time. But this is where we started floofing up the jenny. The spring blooms are coming in. So yeah, if we could keep in mind the boxwoods are going to need attention, fluffing up the jenny next time. Those 2 things we can manage, as well as keeping an eye on the planters, making sure everything's watered and happy. And that's about it for today. Thank you.